So when it comes to money, we've all heard the saying that money can't buy happiness or that money isn't everything. But I think we can all agree that neither is being broke or poor, right? I think we can all agree that being broke, poor is not definitely won't bring you happiness. But the thing about having money is at least with money that you can solve a lot of problems, right? Or at least you can solve a lot of money problems. And for a lot of people, if you ask people to choose, would you want to have money or would you be without money? I think most people would choose having money, right? Because we need the money to do the things that we need to do. So in this video, I got two people who's going to share their experiences when it comes to just being broke, poor, or as they call it. And then I'll let them talk, and then I'll share my thoughts.
Being poor is really expensive. For example, I need a new used car, but I can only afford a car that's about the $2,000 to $3,000 range. I can't really afford anything from a dealership or to get an auto loan. After scrimping and saving and looking at cars for months and months, cars that had all sorts of crap wrong with them, I found one that seemed like okay and seemed like trustworthy people to buy from. I went over to them, checked out the car, gave them my hard-earned money, and then on the way home I had a blowout. And then after I had a tow truck, a very expensive tow truck because I can't afford to have AAA, tow me to a repair shop, I get told that 3 out of the 4 tires need to be replaced. And also the wheel well that's holding one of the tires on is messed up and that needs to be fixed. So now this cheap car has cost me an extra $400. And then driving it home from the repair shop, the blinkers go out. Plus a myriad of other problems with this car that I don't know about yet. Money that I don't really have that I've been saving for months in order to have a car that I thought would be reliable and take me around town. Because I never will be able to afford a new car. And that's just one of many examples on how poor people having to buy lower quality stuff means that they spend more money over time maintaining that shitty stuff or buying more of that shitty stuff than someone who could just buy the nicer thing.
I mean, she's absolutely right, right? That's usually how it works, right? Being poor, being broke is much more expensive when it comes to, they say you want to buy a house or you want to actually purchase a car. You're gonna pay in terms of having a higher interest rate, right? And not only that, but like you said, when it comes to vehicles, like we've all been in a situation where we had a car that was unreliable because we couldn't afford a nicer car. So you know what tends to happen is, like I said, you get a flat on your car, or you get a flat, or your tires are bald. What you do is you replace those tires not with a brand new tire. You'll replace with a used tire that's probably been plugged up more times than anyone can count, right? Or it's just only a matter of time before you get another hole where you got to plug up. So you tend to basically skimp on the new thing and just to get that used thing, where it's gonna be more expensive just to maintain that thing. So that's what being poor or being broke does. It makes things more expensive. You're spending more on things that you need when you could just buy something that's new. But the only thing I disagree with her, especially when it comes to, she made a statement, said that she'll never be able to afford a new car. For me personally, the only thing I don't like is the fact that she says never, okay? Because obviously the solution to a problem would be having more money, right? If she had more money, she'd be able to get the new car that she needs. But when you say I'll never be able to afford a new car, or if you say things like I never or I can't, that automatically shuts off the brains from trying to figure out how you can maybe find a way to make more money. For me personally, I like to replace with never with and I can't with how can I. Right, because once I say how can I, it makes me focus on how can I find a solution to my problem. And obviously, the solution is making more money. And for me personally, like that's the solution. You have to make more money. Like I think we can all agree, like if she had more money, if we all had more money, it would solve a lot of money problems. But for a lot of people though, they have this mindset that they're never going to make that money, right? They'll never be able to achieve a certain financial status because, you know, it's very difficult, right? It's very hard to do these things, right? And I always tell people like, hey man, if you have an opportunity to go make money, whether it's through starting a business or, through your job, right? There's an opportunity, take it. Okay, because like you're only gonna have so much opportunity to be able to even have access to that to make the amount of money that you do, and you need money in order to do things new. Especially living in a place like America, right? You need money. Like things are very expensive here, especially if you want to enjoy life the way you want to do it. And being, and that's the thing, have it like being of a certain income level is very expensive. It makes things very difficult, especially when it comes to healthcare, right? If you don't have the money, we all saw the situation with the United Healthcare. It's like, like you see how many people are struggling because they can't afford a certain healthcare and how expensive it is, and it makes things more difficult for a lot of people. And look, I don't know the solution to this. It's just the way the world is, right? There's things that we can change, but for me, the one thing I can't control everything else out there, right? I can't control how people react. I can't control how people handle their business. The only thing I control is like what I do when it comes to my finances. For me, is trying to make more money. Because if I can at least have that, then I can. It's not gonna solve all my problems, but it's definitely gonna solve a lot of problems. It's gonna make life a little bit easier for me. So, but yeah, but being poor, being broke is definitely more expensive, especially when it comes to your health, like the food type of food that you eat. Trying to get organic food, because I tend to buy everything organic as much as I can, and it's a lot of it is expensive. But because the way I manage my money, I'm able to afford it, afford it the way I needed to, and not worry about other things. But that's something I try not to, neglect, because obviously for me, health is very important. But yes, but for a lot of people, it does make it difficult. So I got one more video. I'll let her talk and then share my thoughts.
Are we all fighting for our lives financially right now, or is it just me? I have a good degree. I work 3 jobs. I budget the hell out of my money to an annoying obsession. Like, I'm watching every single penny I'm spending because I'm trying to pay off all of my student loans. But times are tough right now. Like, man, I feel like the more you work, the more you have to pay for. And it's tough out there right now. Like, I think I do well, and then I look at my bank account and I'm like, oh my God. Or I go to the grocery store and I'm like, oh wow, eggs are $10 again. Woohoo. Like, man, it is tough right now. And sometimes I feel like I'm the only one, because sometimes I'll look and I'll be like, oh my God, all these people I know are like traveling and buying nice things, and I'm like, wow, how? Is there a secret? Someone help.
Yo, eggs really $10? like I buy organic eggs, and I mean I go to Trader Joe's and I get it for like anywhere from like $6 to $7, right? 12 cart. Maybe in California, maybe it's like $10. I don't know. I haven't seen $10 eggs yet on a 12 cart on 12 cart. So I don't know. But yeah, so what she was saying is, like, I mean, obviously for a lot of people, it's not just her, right? Like, I think for her, she said, is it just me, or is it, is everyone else, right? Obviously it's not just you, right? Like 60% of people in the US live paycheck to paycheck. Okay. So it's a lot of people struggling when it comes to their finances. And he's talking about like, oh, she was wondering if it's her, and she was like, I see people on social media, look like they're just living life. But we all know that's just social media, man. A lot of people like to act like they're living life. That's the wrong place to go and see and judge how people are doing, especially in this economy, because people, like, even though people are struggling, they're gonna play on social media like they're living the best life. They're traveling, they got all the expensive, they got the nice cars and nice clothes, like they're living life lavishly. But we all know a lot of those people are fake. They don't have any money. They're broke just like everybody else, and they're just showing something that's just not real. So social media obviously is not the best place to go to see how people are doing, right? Many people are struggling, some more than others, right? For me, I'll tell you this. Look, I always say this, like, yes, for a lot of people, it's when it comes to finances, people are tight. But if you can avoid debt, having so much debt, right? If you can avoid the credit card debt, the buy now, pay later, whatever consumer debt that you have, if you can clean that up. Not saying life will be great for you. However, it will be so much easier. Now, you probably won't be able to go out and travel the way you want to, and live a life of abundance. However, you'll be able to afford the things that you need better, right? To get the food, get your immediate needs, whether it's food, shelter, pay for the things that you need. You'll be able to do that without having to stress so much. But when you have that debt, it makes things so much more difficult, because money is going to a place where it's not providing any value for you, right? Obviously, you pay your rent, your mortgage, that's value. You're buying food, that's value. Your utilities, that's value. But you're paying a credit card, that's not adding any value to you. That's just you paying a debt that you owed because you were, probably reckless with your spending. Okay, and we've all been there, and that's what it is. If you can just remove that debt, it makes things so much easier. Once you get your finances in order, man, you put things in front of you, you see what's coming in, you see what's going out. When you're just more organized when it comes to your finance, and you're not recklessly spending more than you make, it becomes much more easy. It just makes it makes life a little bit easier for you. And obviously stay off social media, because you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, man, these people are traveling and I want to do it. You get that FOMO, and then you're like, oh, let me use my credit card because I go travel, and then you get into debt. Stay away from that, because that's just gonna get you in trouble, right? So those are my thoughts. Interested to hear what you have to say. Make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, share, and if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. All right, so guys, take care, have a good one. Later.